What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from A Connection TV here on YouTube and Wes the Critic. This video is actually going to go on Wes the Critic, but I think I'm going to post it on A Connection TV as well. To my people on A Connection TV, I do film reviews on Wes the Critic's YouTube channel. And to my people watching this on Wes the Critic's YouTube channel, hey, how you doing? I am a reviewer, not a reporter, so I am just going to give my review tonight about Black Panther's Wakanda Forever, the sequel to the just amazing film of Black Panther, a film that broke so many boundaries, broke so many historical, like everything. It was everything to a lot of people, right? And so I'm going to be talking about that video. If this is your first time seeing me, I don't know how. I've been on YouTube since 2005, but definitely follow me on my social media, Instagram and Twitter at A Connection TV. And also, I make film. Okay, and you can see my projects and the projects of me and my collective of indie artists on my platform, Watch ACTV, where we produce original scripted content and is uploaded weekly. All right, I didn't know what to expect, but I think I had some expectations, and the only expectation was that I wanted the movie to be 100% flawless, and I wanted the movie to captivate me like Black Panther 1 did. Was the movie flawless? No. Did Wakanda Forever captivate me like 1 did? No, it didn't. But I still want to talk about it, and it's okay, right? It's okay. There won't be any spoilers in this movie, and I'm smiling because it's interesting, right? All of the reviewers that I've seen of Black reviewers, Black critics, have an issue with the film. All of the ones that I've seen, okay? All of the non-Black folk love the film, love everything about the film, think it's so grand and magical and great. That is so interesting to me because when people say race is not a factor on a lot of things, it's clear that your upbringing and what your life has been like and what you represent as a culture determines a lot about how you feel about things that's presented to you, especially from Hollywood and how they depict us and what they want us to swallow. And so it was interesting because I was seeing a couple of Black critics and I'm like, oh man, what is wrong with this? Like what? But I understand why some of these critics felt the way that they did. There is one thing in the movie that happens that I did not expect. I did not know that it was even a thing going to the movie, so it wasn't spoiled to me. But when it happened, I was like, okay, now I was like, you could miss me with all that. You could miss me with all that, and I'm like, okay, like what is this about? Like I was like, I was like, why did Ryan Coogler make this creative choice? Because it took me out of the film. It took me completely out of the film. I started going to my phone at that point. I was like, all right. And then it became very unbelievable, the transition that took place at the end for the character and me to, like, I was removed from it. And I don't want to spoil it for you because, if you're going to see it, I was just completely removed from it, unfortunately. But I understand Ryan Coogler's responsibility and his job was hard. He's not going to please everyone. People that wanted T'Challa to be recast already going to the movie with their feelings on their nose. And then, people that didn't want T'Challa to be recast are already going into this with feelings on their nose. So Ryan Coogler is not going to be able to please everyone, but what I do hope is that he's able to please people enough so that Wakanda Forever becomes $1 billion film. I don't think it's going to get there. I think it's going to settle at around 800 million, excuse me, or 900 million. But I don't think it's going to get to a building. I hope it does. I hope I'm wrong. Let's talk about the time frame of the movie. 2 hours and 40 some odd minutes. It didn't need to be that long. Ryan Coogler was tasked to further the MCU story along by having characters involved in this film that really did not need to be involved in this film. And the moments that they came into the film, I was taken out of Wakanda and taken out of Talokan and just brought into this subplot that had nothing to really do with the overall mission and story of the film. It was just like, okay, these people exist, and we want you to know that they exist because they've been in Disney Plus shows before, so let's give them some light. But their being in the film held no weight to the overall mission. They contributed nothing but a visual. And so for me, I felt like that was a waste of time. We could have diced this movie up a little bit and cut down the time. That's one. The actors. Let's talk about the actors. Okay. Winston Duke, M'Baku. He is M'Baku. No one else can be M'Baku. I don't want to see anybody else in the role of M'Baku. You know, a lot of people were upset that he's not really in the movie and that he's used for the comedic relief, but everything that he did when he did it was perfect. The comedy here worked. The comedy here was perfect. That's it. I don't have any problems with the comedy here. You know, the subtle comedy to his personality. It was great. You know, some people didn't want him to be a comedic aspect of the film because they wanted M'Baku to really be the Black Panther. Like, a lot of people are mad that, you know, M'Baku's not the Black Panther. And so it is what it is. But outside of that, I'm just excited at the fact that he is in the movie and he's present. And you feel his presence anytime he comes into the room, and I love it. I love the Jabari tribe. Their dominance is there. Lupita Nyong'o, she's cool, right? She has a job to do. She performs the job well. She comes in, she does what she needs to do, and that's that. No problems with Lupita Nyong'o's part. Michaela Cole, she plays a NECA. Cool, but we could have did something else with that. We could have did something else with Michaela Cole. We could have made her Storm. I feel like Michaela Cole's casting was wasted on a NECA, and she should have been Storm. So when I watched Michaela Cole, I'm like, okay, why is she in this? What is she doing? Oh, nothing. Okay, like, she's not really like a focal point in the movie, so I couldn't understand why she was there. But when she came, she did what she needed to do, and that was that. Florence Kasumba as Ayo. Again, like a NECA. She's there, but she's not. Okay. You know, but she does what she needs to do, but she's not really there. She's just there. Dominique Thorne. I loved her in this film. I love the personality of Riri Williams. I love her demeanor. I love her blackness. The way she just talks. And I love her confidence within her intellect, and her intelligence is just superb. I love that for us as a people. I love that for her playing this character. I want to see Ironheart. I do. And I want Ironheart to take place after Wakanda Forever. I don't want Ironheart to be a prequel to Wakanda Forever. I want her to already have her Bach and blah, blah, blah. And I want that to be that. Although Shuri said something to her at the end of this movie that kind of aggravated me. I was like, what? Just aggravated me. So, but I still want her to be like the bomb.com, and after the experience with Wakanda Forever, I want her to be like superb in her own show. You know, I don't want her to be some weak link, because they always make the women weak. I don't want that. I don't want that. So I want her to be a powerful. But Dominique Thorne, yay for her. I loved her. Tana Huerta, okay. Okay. Like, everybody was like, oh my God, he's so fantastic. He's so phenomenal. He's an amazing villain. Thanos is the best villain still today. Thanos is the best villain, then Killmonger. Tana Huerta, I wasn't like wowed by him. And I'm probably the first and only one. I wasn't wowed by him. I felt like he was not trying to be mean, but I just felt like he was a fill-in in a role that, I just felt like he was a fill-in. I love his action sequences and how they made him fly all over the place. That was phenomenal. But him, I don't know, I got fill-in. We're gonna go to Danai Gurira. I love Danai Gurira. She can do no wrong in my eyes. I felt her as Okoye was phenomenal. The bridge sequence was so well done. Letitia Wright, I like her as Shuri. Her transition in this movie, I wasn't necessarily here for. What do I mean without spoiling anything? In the end of the movie, she's not believable to me. To me, she's not, I don't believe it. To me, in the end of the movie, I don't believe it. I love her, and I love everything she did leading up to this, but I don't believe it. I feel like she did a great job all the way through the film, but her and I can't see it. How do you go from like scientifical nerd to like all of a sudden, now, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, I didn't believe it. It made no sense. Angela Bassett is the person that almost made me cry. You know, everyone's talking about they've cried and boo-hoo-hooed and, oh my God, I cried throughout this whole film. You need tissue. I didn't cry one bit. I felt the intro of the movie was completely rushed. I felt like, the actual intro when the logo comes on, when the logo starts, to my heart, to my heart. Silence in the theater, please, when the logo of the Marvel Studio comes on. That's making me emotional right now. But then we get to the beginning of the film and I'm just like, all right, well, okay. But Angela Bassett is the one that brings forth of the tears for me. Although I didn't cry, but she brought the emotion to the heart. Angela Bassett deserves so much from this film. And I hate what Ryan Coogler did in this film. Without saying too much. Because it just pissed me off. It took me out. It took me out. It took me out of it. It took me out of it. It just took me out. But Angela Bassett is phenomenal. Let's talk about the action. The action, I loved it. When it happened, it was visceral. I felt it. The attack on Wakanda, as you see in the trailer, was great. The whole sequence of events was just super dope. I loved it. Tanakwata flying through the air and stuff, the way they had him doing all that was perfect. The way they used the wings on the feet, on the ankles, perfect. M'Baku, perfect. The Dora Milaje, all of that. That whole act, and the bridge was so dope. The bridge was so dope. Like, it was just, the action, I loved it. I was here for it. Cinematography, here for it. All day, every day, here for it. Love seeing the visuals. I felt like Talocan at points just looked real, like, limited. Like, all of the people were there like, like, you know, that's what it felt. It felt like all the actors were like in real tanks and they can't smile or talk because they're really in water and the rest of the CGI around them. So the whole time they're like, holding their breath the whole time. It took me out. It took me out. I'm like, y'all should have did what Aquaman did. I know it looked real, like CGI and real, you know, computer animated. But we already know y'all not really swimming down there like that. But I get it. Ryan Coogler wanted to show a more realistic approach to underwater. But great. But at least have them talk. Like, y'all could have had them saying something. Or y'all should have had them wearing the mask underwater. Because it was just weird to me. Like, when they were underwater, they were humans. But then when they were out of water, they were blue. It was weird to me. I couldn't understand. It wasn't making no sense. I didn't understand that part. But the cinematography was great. It was great. The writing of the script, it goes hand in hand with the pacing. I felt like at points, we could have did something different. We just could have did something different. Is this film perfect? No. Do I like the film? Yes. Am I going to see it again at 11 o'clock? Yes. Why? Because I want to support this film. And my hope is that it does cross $1 billion. I don't think it will, but my hope is that it does cross $1 billion. Ryan Coogler had a horrible feat to attack, and so did all of the cast and crew and the actors. They poured their love and devotion into the film, and the actors did an amazing job. I felt like the script could have been structured differently, and I felt like the creative choices that Ryan Coogler made in the film weren't the best decisions to make. And it was really just, actually it was two in particular. The shock of it all, I don't want to say but when that happened, I was immediately pissed. And then the Black Panther, like, I don't know, it just wasn't believable to me. So those two creative choices just was not believable to me. And at times, we should not have to worry about following the source material just to appease fans, because it just made no sense. It made no sense. Now, I was just gonna say it, goddammit. Had Shuri been vigilant in her fighting skills and like acrobatics and doing flips of the sort, then okay, it could be more believable a little bit more. Y'all saw the trailer, like what? But like what? It just didn't make sense to me. Overall, I would give the film a 7 out of 10. Let me know what you thought about it. There's nothing really else to talk about. There really is. It pisses me off because I feel like ultimately where we built something that was so beautiful in Black Panther, the first one, it's being destroyed in the second one. And I don't like that. You know, we were given a blessing and this gift in the movie. You know, I felt proud and profound and beautiful watching Black Panther. There were moments where I felt that with this one, like Angela Bassett's address to the United Nations, like that, I was clapping in the theater. I was like, yes! But then, like, that was my only moment to feel proud and to be like, yes, you know? Because every other time it was like an attack. And it just was like, okay, it's like death here, we're grieving, death here. When are we gonna feel powerful? And even the ending battle, we weren't powerful. And the ending battle, you know, I think that's my issue. In the ending battle, we were still not powerful. Even when the Black Panther came, we were still not powerful. We were still weak. And when y'all see the film, y'all might be able to connect with me, but we were weak at the end. And only saved because of what? Like, miss me with all of it. Miss me with all of it. Let me know what you thought about the film if you saw the film, and let me know what you think about this review. Deuces!